Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Luqman here, and welcome back to another video. And we're not going to beat around the bush because we got somebody very special here to be in this video. But before we do that, you want to see the last clip is somewhere up there. And without further ado, let's jump right in to see who's our special guest here. And why don't you introduce yourself? Can we call you UpShif, or just call you by your first name? Alright, Mr.
Yeah, hi, I'm Zeki, or UpShif. I'm a Formula 1 racing YouTuber. And yeah, that's really it.
So like, try to expand on that. What do you do for your channel?
Essentially, I pick anything to do with Formula 1. It could be the story of a racer, past or the present, or a team in Formula 1. And I do my best to try to convey my opinion on that matter, or try to tell that story in the most entertaining way.
Alright, that's
and
cool.
Try to make as many jokes as possible.
So, apologies because I do not know anything about Formula 1. So for the people who do not know anything about Formula 1, like me, just a little backstory about Formula 1 and what's it all about.
Essentially, it's 10 teams with 2 drivers each in the fastest road machines the world has ever seen. And they reach speeds of 210 to 220 miles an hour. It's a single-seater racing, so it's just one seat and that's it. It's just that racer in the car, and they travel around the world driving at circuits here in the US, in Europe, Japan, Asia, Australia, the UAE.
Do you have any differences between NASCAR and Formula 1?
NASCAR it's called pack racing. Essentially, is everyone is in the field and everyone's fighting for the same road. But in Formula 1, everyone's way more spread out because there's a field.
I mean, they would have to complete like a certain amount of laps, like win a course or something.
I believe some of the races are timed. Formula 1 is strictly X amount of laps and then the field is finished.
Do you have any favorite Formula 1 players? Or racers, I should say?
Yeah, people from my channel will know. I really liked Alex Albon, who's unfortunately not in F1 at the moment. But right now, I would say the Ferrari driver, Charles Leclerc.
Charles Leclerc.
What? Nani?
What about your favorite types of Formula 1 cars?
Like, I usually root for McLaren.
How did you actually get into Formula 1, and then that feeling made you start making YouTube videos about it?
I got into Formula 1 around 2010, 2011. Through that, I wanted to see what everyone else thought of the races, because I didn't really watch any like reviews of the race. I started watching this guy called Josh Revell. I started watching him and how he edited and made his videos. I kind of looked at that format and thought it was eye-appealing, I guess. It was very interesting to see. Through that, I kind of thought I could do this. I have some stupid opinions that I could share with the world. I put up a camera, I just said what I wanted to say, started to post it on YouTube.
So like before YouTube, it was like breaks in between that you stop watching at some point and you watch it up again. I mean, it's kind of like football. Like, if you're one team, if it's doing so bad, you decide to not watch it. If it's doing so good, you decide to watch it. It's like a roller coaster ride at some point. And also for your YouTube, I mean, I'd like to say congratulations for hitting over 200 subscribers on your channel. And
Thank you.
and I gotta say that you've actually your channel's actually doing quite well because you picked that niche. You selected that niche, Formula 1 racing, specifically for Formula 1 racing. The #1 spot. And I think now that you're probably gonna be a rising UpShif YouTuber, I guess. I don't know. I kind of working on finding my niche for my channel because I'm trying a lot of different things to see which one works. It's a good to experiment. But for you found your niche, and good luck with your channel. And
Thank you so much.
also, in the future, do you planning on being a Formula 1 racer or just being a fan or like someone who follows?
I do really, really, really want to become a Formula 1 racer, but unfortunately it's so unbelievably expensive that it's essentially impossible to get in it. Because there's tiers of F1. Obviously F1, and then there's F2, and there's F3, and then there's F4. And then F4 is around the world. That's supposed to be the most cheap form of how to get into Formula 1, and it's over $100,000 just to compete. So that's why I like to do YouTube.
So you decided to become a follower instead, right?
Yeah.
Man, that's all the questions I have. Is that all we have? No.
Wait, can I quickly grab a sip of water real quick?
Yeah, go ahead. So you started doing podcasts first, and then like you transitioned podcasts into like
I get commentary, I guess.
yeah, commentary.
I'm still going to do a podcast. It didn't really do well unless I did something with someone. I was posting 2 videos each week and like putting a lot of time into it, formulating everything. It was not getting the views I hoped. I decided like I'm going to do something. I'm just going to experiment and try to do something a little bit different. So then I posted my first commentary type video that ended up getting 3,000 views. Ended up from getting 50 to 40 views a video to now 3,000. I knew like that's a way to grow. That type of editing style. That's now getting a couple hundred views per video. It's becoming very successful.
So you're the guy behind the camera.
Yeah, kind of.
So So I'm just gonna change the title to like the face reveal instead of interviewing this UpShif racer guy. Here's his face.
This is my face reveal.
His like real
Even though I
face.
showed it in like 50 videos.
But yeah, but aside from that, that was a really big jump. You know, from like switching the content around. You know, that's all about experimentations. I guess that was a pretty long interview, about 20 minutes on footage. You got any last words to say?
Not really. If anyone is trying to enter into YouTube, I think that you should do something that you're very passionate about. Find something that you want to give your opinion of, and also subscribe to WTX Luq.
Thank you, yeah. And also for anybody who's getting into the Formula 1 area, the guy's right here. His name is UpShif1. Go subscribe to his channel. He posts a lot of videos about different types of racers. Hopefully they'll find your channel soon. Like and comment on this video. I'll see you guys next time.